Good morning, all. Today we are going to learn a lesson called The Seed. This lesson is about the quality truthfulness, loyalty. So, what is that loyalty means? So, you can look it at the page number 33. There's a poster given in the beginning of the lesson itself. Henry Ford, a English writer, tells something about the quality truthfulness. Let's see what he tells. Quality means doing it right even when nobody is looking. According to Henry Ford, what is quality? Quality or truthfulness means not only doing right things when somebody is observing us, even doing right things when nobody is looking at us also. That means we should not cheat on the people at any time or at any cost. Not only someone is observing you, even when no one is observing you also, you should maintain your quality of truthfulness. Now let's learn the lesson, and this lesson is about the quality truthfulness. How a person is known about his quality truthfulness and how he gets his reward but being very truthful if compared to others. So in this in this lesson, you get some characteristics like one is narrator, second one is king, third one is princess, fourth one young man first, fifth one young man second, sixth one young man third, seventh one young man four, eighth one young man five, and ninth one young man second, and lastly there's a boy called Daniel. So let's see what is the uh, story about. Script narrator. Narrator is telling something about the story. Let's see what he tells. Once upon a time, there was a king who had only one daughter. One day, he said. So here we see script narrator telling something about the story. What he is narrating, he tells that once upon a time there was a king who had only one daughter. One day, he said. What he said to his daughter: when are you going to get married? Princess: I don't know, father. Is there someone special you like? Princess: no, father, but I really would like to marry someone kind and honest. King: leave that to me. So here we see the king and the princess conversing with each other. What is the conversation about? The conversation is about the marriage of the princess. And king asks her whether she's going to get married with someone, and she says, I don't know, father. So anyone you want specially? He asks his daughter, and she tells, yes, she wants a kind and honest person to marry. So king says, okay, leave that to me. That means I'll take care of that, you don't worry. Princess: do you have something in mind? King: yes, you just wait. Princess: very well, father. So princess asks her father, anyone is there in your mind, or any special idea is there to get a good person for me? King says, yes, you just wait for a while. I'll let you know what's the idea I have in the mind to get a nice person, a truthful person for you. Princess, yes, she tells, very well, father. Okay, father, I'll wait for your ideas. Next, the next day, what happens? Let's see through the narrator's view. Next day, the king decided to hold a competition between every young man in the kingdom. Messengers were sent out to all the far reaches of the kingdom proclaiming the news. Finally, one day, they were all gathered in the palace. So, one day, what happened? Very next day, the king had decided to hold a competition between every young man in the kingdom. So he wanted to have a competition, challenges between all the young men in the kingdom. So messengers were sent out to all the far reaches of the kingdom, proclaiming the news. So here we see the messengers who carry the message of the king towards the corner of the country, and they conveyed the message or announced the message of the king about the competition. Finally, one day they were all gathered in the palace. So, finally, one day, what happened? On the particular day, all the young men of the kingdom came and gathered in the palace. Now king is speaking to them. King is addressing all the young men. Let's see what he tells. King, in my hand I hold a bag of beautiful flower seeds. I will give one of these seeds to each one of you. Once you have one of these seeds, you must take it away and care for it for the next 6 months. Then you should bring the full grown flower back to me. Now let's see what King tells. King tells that I have a bag of beautiful flower seeds. That means I have some seeds which can give beautiful flowers. So each one of you will get one bag of these seeds and you will grow them for another 6 months. And whoever brings a beautiful flower, that more beautiful than anyone else's, I will give you some reward. Now all the young men are so curious. What they ask the king? Young man first asks, what for? Young man too, what will we get? So young men are so curious. They want to know why this competition is held and what they are going to get if they grow beautiful flowers. And they are asking, what for? What will we get? King is answering now. King, the person that brings to me the most beautiful flower will marry my precious daughter. So what is the thing told to them? If anyone brings a beautiful flower than anyone else's flower, he will get the princess as his wife. That means the one who brings a beautiful flower, most beautiful flower among all the flowers, he will be able to get married with the princess. Young man 3. Oh, young man 4. You can count on me. You can count on me means you can rely on me. You can depend upon me. That means I am going to bring a most beautiful flower. Young man 5. I will bring the most beautiful flower you have ever seen. Young man 6. Don't be so sure of that. But young man 6 is not so confident about his future. He tells, we cannot tell that it will be most beautiful because so many people are here. Anyone can bring most beautiful flower. So don't be so sure about your beautiful flower. Now king is speaking. King, silence. Just remember, I'll be there in 6 months. You can go now. What the king is telling? Be silent. Don't shout. Just remember, by next 6 months, you will have to grow a beautiful flower. And I'll be here to collect them and let you know who is going to marry my daughter. Narrator. They all went home. During the next 6 months, the princess waited patiently for that day to come. Finally, the palace gates were opened and the young men entered to see the king. Each one of them was carrying a flower in a pot. Now, 6 months are over. Till now, the princess waited with the patience, and at the end of the 6 months, the palace gates were opened and all the young men were welcomed inside of the kingdom or the palace. All the young men were holding beautiful flowers in the pots in their hands. King, please get in line and I will take a look at your pot. So now king is addressing all the young men who are holding the flowers in the hand. He is telling, please get in line. All of you fall in line. I will take a look at your pot. Let me take a look at your pot. Let me see the beautiful flower grown in your pot. Narrator. The king took a look at each pot. Now king goes on looking at each pot held by the young men of the kingdom. Young man first is speaking now. What he tells? Look, your majesty, mine is the most beautiful. The young man first, who took the flower seeds from the king and grown some beautiful flowers, he is telling the king, look, your majesty, just look at my flowers, majesty. I have most beautiful flowers. King, sure it is. Yes, king is accepting. Yes, your flowers are very beautiful. Young man too, please smell this flower. It surely smells nice. Now the young man too is telling, please majesty, smell this flower. Take a smell of this flower and it's the most fragrant flower. Even king says, yes, it surely smells nice. Young man 3, watch mine. Isn't it exotic? Even one more person is standing with a flower and he tells, "Watch mine, look at my flower. Isn't it exotic?" Means it looks like a foreign flower. It is brought from foreign, it looks like. That means very special one. King, yes, he says, yes. If you say so, yes. If you are telling that it's from foreign, yes, exactly, it looks like a foreign flower. Narratum. Suddenly the king noticed a young man who was carrying an empty pot. He approached him and put his hand on the young man's shoulder. Now, King looks at a person who was standing in a corner with a sad face. The boy who was carrying an empty pot in the hand. What the boy is doing? He is carrying an empty pot in his hand. Empty pot means there is no flower in that pot, and he is holding it in the hand and standing in a corner in a very sad way. And now the king goes next to him and put his hand on the shoulders of the young man who was holding a empty pot, and is asking something to that boy. King, what's your name, young man? Daniel. My name is Daniel, your majesty. So the young man's name is Daniel, and he tells the same to the king. King, why do you look so sad? Aren't you happy to be here just like the others? Why are you looking so sad? Why are you not happy like other people over here? And Daniel tells something. Oh, yes, I am, your majesty. It's just that the seed you gave me did not grow. Now Daniel is telling something. What he's telling? Oh, yes, I am. I'm looking so sad. Why? Because it's just that the seed you gave me did not grow. I'm sad because the seed what you gave it to me, it did not grow. It did not give any plant or flowers. That's why I'm sad. Young man, ha ha ha. Hearing his answer, all of them started laughing at him, saying in a very funny way, ha ha ha, like. Young man 4, ha ha ha, he brought an empty pot. So the young men were standing in the line. They are making fun of Daniel for not carrying any flowers. King, don't feel ashamed, please, Daniel. Now king is trying to convince Daniel, making him to feel bit relieved and telling that no need to feel insulted or no need to feel ashamed for not growing anything. Please be happy. The next, Daniel is speaking now. I really took good care of the seed you gave me, your majesty. I did everything I could. More sun, less sun, more water, letting the pot dry out. Nothing worked. I'm sorry, but I have nothing to show you but a pot full of dirt. I have no hope of marrying the princess. Now Daniel is still sad because he's explaining the reasons for being sad and how he failed to grow a crop or a plant or a flower. He is explaining. I really took good care of the seed you gave me, your majesty. Your majesty, I really took care of the seed you gave me. I did everything I could. More sun, less sun, more water, letting the pot dry out, nothing worked. That means I experimented with this pot in all the way to get a good flower, but it did not work out. I'm sorry, but I have nothing to show you but a pot full of dirt. So I'm so sorry for not having any flower to show you. Just I have a pot full of mud, that's all. I have no hope of marrying the princess. And since I've not grown any flower properly, I don't have any hope of marrying the princess, your daughter. King, look, my daughter is here. But King is telling, my daughter is here for you, he tells. Look, my daughter is here. That means you can marry my daughter. Princess is so shocked because the person who has not brought any flower, the king is asking him to marry the princess. That's why she's shocked. And she's asking him, Princess, father, have you reached a decision? She's asking, Father, have you decided that I should marry him? King. Yes, everybody listen. This man you see here by my side will marry my daughter. So King has decided that the boy who is standing next to him, Daniel, he's going to marry her, and he announces the same. Young man 4. But look at his part, there is nothing there. But young man 4, who was waiting for the princess to get married, he's objecting, he is raising a question saying that, but look at his part, there is nothing there. But he has nothing in his part, how can he marry the princess? Is asking the king. Now king is revealing the fact. What the king is telling? King, I don't know where you got the flowers from, but it was not from me. Now king is revealing the fact. What is the fact? These flowers what you have grown, it is not from the seeds given by me. It is from other place. That means you did not remain with the words what you gave it to me. I asked you to grow the flowers from the seeds what I gave, but your flowers are from different places. They are not from the seed given by me. Young man 5, what do you mean? He's angry. Young man 5 is a bit angry now because now, according to the statement of the king, they are going to lose the princess. Now, king is explaining why he wants the Daniel to marry his daughter. King, I mean that those seeds were dead. I gave all of you boiled seeds that would not grow. All of you except Daniel have brought beautiful flowers. When you found out that the seed would not grow, all of you substituted another seed for the one I gave you. Daniel was the only one with the courage and honesty to bring me a pot with my seed in it. Therefore, he will marry my daughter. Now, the truth is revealed. Why the king wanted the Daniel to marry his daughter. What he is telling? I mean that those seeds were dead. I gave all of you boiled seeds that would not grow. What he is telling? He is telling that whatever seeds given to them to grow the flowers, they were dead because they were boiled and given. But still, all the young men were able to grow the flowers, and they are telling that they were grown out of the seeds given by the king. And that cannot happen only. That means they brought all the flowers from outside, the plants from outside, and they are pretending like whatever seeds were given by the king, out of that these plants were grown. But only the Daniel was able to speak out the truth, and he was dared. He was brave enough to tell the fact to the king that he was not able to grow the plants from the seeds given by the king. So his courage and honesty impressed the king, and he decided that Daniel will marry his daughter. Princess, Daniel, you are sincere and honest, and those are the qualities my husband, a good king, should have. I will be happy to marry you. So finally, the princess is accepting Daniel, saying that you are sincere and honest. I liked your sincerity and honesty, and the qualities my husband and a good king should have. You are fit to be my husband, even a good king. And if I marry you, obviously I'll be very happy. So I have decided to marry you. So this is the way the king find out a truthful person for his daughter. So what the lesson tells? What's the message of the lesson? If we are loyal, if we are truthful, obviously we are paid with a big reward. It never makes us to feel depressed or painful. Honesty and loyalty always pays a better thing, and obviously we will be very much rewarded. That's all for the day. Thank you, children.